Raz. Ladies and gentlemen, we are a little bit late with our session. Sorry for that, but we have still study visit around this beautiful object. So we are still waiting for some of the people, and I know that part of them already arrived here. So we decided that we will wait 5 minutes. However, now I think we should start our session. Today is a special session of our conference dedicated to the circular economy implementation in water and wastewater sector. This conference is the accompanying event to CEwater, and conference is International Conference Phosphorus Raw Materials in the Visegrad countries and is directly connected with our another project that is supported by the Visegrad Fund, and I will show you a little bit about the details of our project, our objectives, and our results. What is connecting those projects? We are both working for the circular economy implementation in the wastewater treatment plants. The phosphorus recovery from the waste generated in the wastewater treatment plants, that was the main idea to propose the project Phosphor. Doesn't work? No. Maybe battery is low. We had used this one many times. Yeah, so that's my presentation now. I'm Marzena Smol, and I think you already know me. I'm the project coordinator of this phosphorus project dedicated to the building some resilience in the countries that belongs to the Visegrad group. And firstly, I would like to present the agenda of our current session. We will start with the introduction to the project dedicated to phosphorus. Then I will invite Professor Petro Kaptustenko from Brno University of Technology to present the Czech perspective of the phosphorus management and recovery in this country. Then we are really not happy, but our partner from Hungary couldn't join today our conference, so this part will be skipped. And we will go directly to Professor Tomasz Bakalar from Košice, who will present the Slovakia perspective for the phosphorus management. And then Paulina Marcinek from our division, who is already waiting here, will present our main result of the project, that's mean roadmap for the management of the phosphorus in the Visegrad countries. Then we will have the break. You are very invited to the lunch break, and the last session of the conference, just before the closing session, will be the session dedicated to the presentation of some results dedicated to the phosphorus, and we have 3 speakers, so you are very invited also to join the second session of this conference. And now I would like to show you some details dedicated to our project. This is our web page, and you are very, very invited also to see what happens there, because we have already published some results of our project. And also there were many information about our activities. We have organized few workshops. Now we have this small conference that was dedicated mainly to the presentation of the project results, and also some publications that we have developed during the project duration. We have 4 partners in our project. The Visegrad Fund is dedicated to the partners from Visegrad countries. So the main coordinator of this project is our institute, Mineral and Energy Economy Research Institute of the Polish Academy of Sciences in Krakow. We have also the research institute from Hungary, Bezalto nonprofit. We have the university from Slovakia, Technical University of Košice. There is also important partner from Czech Republic, Brno University of Technology, and for this project we also invited the partner from Poland, the second one, Warsaw University of Life Science, and that's our team working in this project. What should be underlined, this is not the big project as the water sea management. We received around 25,000 euros for partners to develop the roadmap and to make some events that are dedicated to extend the awareness about the phosphorus importance in our countries. And this is quite important. I think that with Ludwig we were talking a lot about the importance of the phosphorus for our countries, but also the lack of the participation of representatives of our countries in the international network for the phosphorus, the most important in Europe, European Sustainable Phosphorus Platform. I'm very involved for many years with the previous president who is here with us, Ludwig Herman. However, there is no even one person from Czech Republic, from Slovakia, and also from Hungary. Based on my current knowledge, I haven't seen the partners from those countries, and from Poland, only our institution or some projects that we are conducting are the partners in the platform. So this is something what we should improve, and that was the idea of our project as well, to build the Friends Club in our countries, because in the phosphorus platform, I think that inventor of this term was Ludwig, who is calling all partners of the platform Phosphorus Friends Club. So this is quite important that in our countries also we will have some more people working on phosphorus recovery. And the project, as I already mentioned, is dedicated to increase the knowledge and awareness about the importance of the phosphorus in our 4 countries and build the phosphorus management strategy where we wanted to set up some goals, because we know that with the small project you are not able to have the big installation or to convince the ministry to include some changes in the law. However, it was our first intention to make a step to propose some changes in the law and also in the management structure and in the education, and it will be presented by Paulina in this session. What we have also done, that's the inventory of the P-rich waste in our countries. And I will show you later some results of our inventory as well. However, what should be mentioned here, for example, from perspective of the Polish conditions, in 2016, our Minister of Environment underlined that we should make the inventory of the waste that are rich in the phosphorus. And there was a special dedicated document where they really underlined the importance of the phosphorus and the waste. However, from this time, nobody made some evaluation. So this is quite important to know how many waste, which kind of waste we are working with, and also what is the quantity and quality of those waste. Because without this information, it's not possible to plan any technology implementation as well, or management of the company and changes in the business models. Project is funded by the Visegrad Fund, and honestly, this is the almost end of our project. It was extended because of the pandemic, of course, like many projects. However, now it should be finalized in June this year. So based on the analyses that have been provided in the honestly many international projects, mainly the European projects, there was many different approaches for the calculation of the quality and quantity of the waste generated in the wastewater treatment plants and other waste which are rich in the phosphorus. And there are already many technologies that have been implemented in various countries, European countries. And during the first day of the conference also Ludwig was mentioning that, sorry, not this conference, but another conference last week, that you have been working on the implementation on the technology during 20 years, from the testing of the technology to the implementation HDEC process that was 20 years. So you can see that sometimes it's very time-consuming, and also we need some changes in the law that have been implemented in Germany, that are planned to be implemented also in Austria, and have been already implemented in Switzerland, for example. And technology is dedicated, of course, to the phosphorus recovery from ashes. And what also was dedicated to the project that we proposed, as you can see on the map, we have quite dangerous situation regarding the security of the raw materials. And this is dedicated not only to the phosphorus, but also to other critical raw materials and strategic raw materials in Poland, for example. And when the COVID came to Europe, and Poland was one of the first countries where we closed the borders. And there were also some risk about suppliers of the materials. So this is something what should be also considered, how to secure the raw materials flow in our country and also in other Visegrad countries to stay safe and to be able to produce the food in the future. So that was also the reason that we proposed this project in the call dedicated to the COVID pandemic importance and some propositions to face the problems that occurred during the pandemic. And this is the first our results that was already proposed 2 years ago. And this is the portfolio of the partners in our countries that are working on the phosphorus recovery. And this one was very important because we have done the inventory of the partners only in our countries to know where we should looking for the collaboration, because it was not very easy to reach some partners who are working on the phosphorus in our country. And honestly, I was searching for the partners in the internet and also in our EIT raw materials network. And I have found some partners there, but nobody was interested in the phosphorus in the beginning. However, we were able to reach the minimum 3 partners from consortium for consortium construction, and we are quite active now in not only the management of the phosphorus, but also the technologies for the phosphorus. So this one is available for free on our webpage. So you have here the clear information who is working on the phosphorus in our countries. So maybe also for the results of our study dedicated to the development of the roadmap for the phosphorus management in our countries. So I will give the floor to her to present in detail. We have also developed during those 2.5 years 2 joint publications dedicated to the phosphorus management and inventory, some data regarding the phosphorus in our countries, and they have been already published, and they are also available for free on our webpage. Another important aspect was the education. So we have organized 4 workshops dedicated to the increasing the knowledge about the phosphorus in our countries. And our intention was to invite the students, to invite the experts, and to invite the scientists and increase the awareness of those people who should work on the phosphorus recovery and management. And this is the summary conference today. So a few words about the phosphorus in Poland. As you already know, we don't mine the phosphorus. From economic point of view, it's not recommended now, and it will be not recommended in the future, I think. So our only one base and materials that we could use for now, these are the waste materials. And we should look for some materials that we already have in the cycle in our economy, to not lose those materials, like phosphorus, but to include them in the cycle and recover and put in another industry, for example. And also, here also what is important on this slide, that the countries where we import the phosphorus, there are not even in the Europe. So this is also something what is not very safe for us from the perspective also of what happened with the Russia. However, from my knowledge, we still have some Russian deposits. However, of course, it will be very, very dangerous. It could be dangerous in the future. Yeah, so basically we work on the different waste streams in our institutions. In Mineral and Energy Economy Research Institute, we mainly focus on the waste that are generated in the wastewater treatment plants. So here you have great example because we are also collaborating with the Water Krakow utility, and we are evaluating the ashes that are generated in the mono-incineration plant here to propose some solutions for the phosphorus recovery in the future. And in Poland, why phosphorus is so important? Because next to the critical raw material list that was proposed by the European Commission, and of course phosphorus and phosphate deposit are included there, we have another list in Poland, and this is the list of the strategic materials, raw materials, and we have been developing this with the ministry in 2016, and also phosphorus was included here, and our institute finally was responsible body for the proposition for the Ministry of Economy, to develop this list. So we also had the impact on the list of those materials. And phosphorus, next to the criticality of its importance, also is the reason of the eutrophication. So we have two perspectives for the phosphorus. First, and the main conclusion is to keep the phosphorus in the cycle in our economy, because if we lose the phosphorus, it also has some negative points like eutrophication impact. And if we will recover those materials from the any waste generated in the wastewater treatment plant as a wastewater, also sludges and sewage ashes, we could predict the eutrophication. And in our Baltic Sea region, it's very, very important. In our division, we are conducting we have been conducting few projects dedicated to the phosphorus recovery and phosphorus management. Under the Horizon 2020 in EIT Raw Materials, we have been part of the consortium where peer recovery in the form of Struvia with Veolia from Germany has been proposed. And in EIT Raw Materials also in 2020 we have proposed the management structure for the phosphorus in the Baltic Sea region, and it was a huge consortium with many different partners from all Baltic Sea region countries and supported by the HELCOM recommendations. So it was quite important project, and for me it was like my little child, because it was the first European project that I was coordinating in our institute, but it was very, very well recognized in EIT Raw Materials that we are working on the phosphorus. The next one that we are finalizing now as well, this is also the Horizon 2020 project, Lex for Bio, where we are working on the evaluation of the technologies for the recovery of phosphorus and nitrogen from different waste streams. And here we are responsible for the evaluation of the socio-economic impact of the bio-based fertilizers. The next one, that was the project that I have been conducting some technical evaluation in the Federal Institute for Resources Management in Germany. And here the ASHTEC technology has been evaluated, and we have proposed also some solutions. And the last one, this is the Polfer Ash, and Technical University of Krakow is the main developer of the technology, and they are planning to implement this one. However, also what is important, it takes like 10 years from development of the solution, and there is still no official commercialization. So it's really long time-consuming process, and it's not very easy to convince the company that they should recover the phosphorus from the economic point of view mainly. Yeah, so this is the Infos project. Maybe I will skip this one, but also what is very important that we have proposed the roadmap, sustainable management strategy, and also we have organized many different awareness events dedicated to the phosphorus in all Baltic Sea countries. We had also the technological projects where we were responsible for the life cycle assessment, for example, and for the economic assessment as well in this polyfer ash technology with the Krakow University of Technology. Regarding the company that we are working with here in Krakow, what is very important that the intention of the incineration is to reduce the volume of the waste. Of course, it's okay. However, we still have the waste. And if we incinerate more and more sludges, we also have more and more ashes to be managed in some way. And they cannot go directly to the land. It's forbidden in Poland. And if we just dispose this one on the landfill, there's a lot of phosphorus, up to 13% in Polish ashes. So we lose the phosphorus that is included there. So in some way, we should manage this one in the more sustainable way. And in Poland, we have 11 incineration plants. However, honestly, they are not working all the year altogether. Only a few are working in the same time, producing different amounts of the phosphorus, and also when we have some technical problems, the amount of this phosphorus is unpredictable, honestly, in the end of the day, as it was in the Warsaw, for example, 2 years ago, when the incineration didn't work for 1 year. And this is the company where the highest amount of the of ashes is produced. So it's really impacted the general amount in the Poland as well. Yeah, so different places. And here in 2019, we have evaluated few incineration plants to evaluate the phosphorus content, also the amount of the waste generated in those plants, and also to try if the hashtag process is could be recommended for our ashes in the future. That means maybe Ludwig could say a few more words about the hashtag as an inventor. However, it's the thermochemical treatment of the ashes. Yes, so the results are very promising because in our ashes we have up to 13% of the phosphorus, and also by the hashtag process, the bioavailability of the phosphorus is increased. This is the very important element. So this fertilizer that we produce was easily available for the plants. This is something very important because we can evaluate in general the phosphorus, but we also have to remember that to put the phosphorus material, rich material to the land doesn't mean that the plants will take the phosphorus. It has to be the bioavailability evaluated of it. Yeah, and today in the afternoon also, we will say a few words about this technology that was proposed in the Jarocin. And also maybe it's not a secret anymore from today that Jarocin has been granted, even in 2018, one of the highest conferences dedicated to the water sector as award for the circular economy implementation. And today during the closing session, we would like to also underline the importance of this solution for the first official industrial peer recovery for the phosphorus. Some other institutions also are working on the phosphorus recovery from ashes, not only ashes, but also other wastes in Poland. Yeah, and in general, with ashes, there are two different ways. First one is dedicated to the thermochemical treatment, and we have the solid fertilizer, and second one is dedicated to the chemical treatment, where we have liquid effluent coming from the process, and we have also the fertilizer that could be used in the future, I hope that we could support the commercialization of those solutions, of course, after the economic and social and environmental evaluation and positive impact. Thank you very much. That was a short presentation of the Polish perspective, and now I would like to invite Professor Petro Kapustenko from Brno University of Technology for presenting the Czech perspective for the phosphorus. Thank you.
Is that not working here? Oh, okay. So I want to present our part of Brno Technical University spill group on phosphorus management issues in the Czech Republic. And it is our spill group, you see, and we are sorry that Professor Klemesh have left us last year, but the group still working, and we working mostly online with people all around the world. And the content of my lecture, it is lack of phosphorus in Czech Republic, example of good practice which we have at Brno Lake Water Cleaning Project, project progress from 2001, alternative sources of phosphorus, sewage as secondary source of phosphorus at Iveco Brno company, and some about engineered bacteria and measures recommended for further improvement in this field. In Czech Republic there is lack of phosphorus, and in Europe phosphorus has been included in the list of 20 critical materials. And known phosphorus sources are depleted, and there will be, if we have no phosphorus, what we have on Earth, it will be only 1 million people, billion people will survive. And phosphorus consumption is growing, and so its price. And also I would say about Czech phosphorus platform that was established in 2017 year, and it wants to contribute to self-sufficient phosphorus management in Czech Republic. By supporting recycling of phosphorus and its production from the different sources and waste. And one of such sources is sewage sludge, which contain about 1–2% of the total treated wastewater. However, the sludge up to 50–80% of the original pollution. To take this, to produce from sludge can cost about 50% of the wastewater treatment plant operating cost. And sewage sludge, it's heterogeneous material, and there is microorganism that also prevent directly to use it to the fields. And according to the European Union waste management objectives, recycling is preferable use of the waste to simple disposal of waste products. Still landfill sewage sludge is allowed in Czech Republic in some cases, but it should be avoided. Here just how it should be if we will have a closed circle to sustainable use of phosphorus. It should be working together agriculture, after that industry, production, agriculture, water usage, and society. About phosphorus in Czech Republic, you see on graph they have much dropped after 1991, 1992. On this, yes, and after that it is somewhat stable. Here what we have, the production of fertilizers in Czechia and consumption. And consumption much bigger than production. And it is about 400%, 240% in later. So we have the largest fertilizer producer, Lower Chemi, which cannot make all necessary for all our country. We have here example of a good practice, and it is the project at Brno Lake. Here its location, and it is water reservoir which have about 7,600,000 volume, 223 meters above the sea, and the water basin about 1,586 square kilometers. Maximum depth is 23.5 meters. And from 2001, project was going, and it was also directed to get the best way how we can precipitate the phosphorus material from the water, and it is one of the biggest projects in Europe. You see it is third stage of this project ended in 2022, and now it is going for its further extension. And results of the project is that we can obtain insoluble phosphorus sediments, sulfides, and subsequently sunk it to the bottom of the lake, where they remain. After that, we can select them and obtain the phosphorus. And I should say here that we had previously project EcoFos, and what can be interesting maybe also for Poland, we have studied the factory in Kingisepp on Baltics, where they have a ship. They were going over the Baltics and collect the sediments. From that sediments, they have obtained marginates, and we have proposed them to obtain also phosphorus and developed some technologies with Greeks and University of Manchester. So it's just what can be done in that matter. And we also analyzed alternative sources of phosphorus and potential technologies of treatment. So it's precipitations, enhanced biological removal, crystallization, magnetic water treatment, absorption, activated sludge, bacteria with higher phosphorus in uptake, microalgae, and submerged macrophytes. But it's all these ways, they need, of course, economical justification. And so sewage, as it is shown, we have shown that it can be a secondary source of phosphorus material, and it was also made work with the Iveco Brno company, and also analyzed the possibility to use engineered bacteria, Bacillus subtilis, to harvest phosphates from environment, and after that to obtain it phosphorus and phosphorus for different kinds as fertilizers also. And the potential for future measures, it is here, so it will require regulating and provide incentive for phosphor recovery and for ministries of the Czech Republic to make a dissemination campaign and also to initiate investments in waste recovery related research. It's for ministries of Czech Republic. And also education at the university, that people should know of the phosphorus and how it's important and how it can be produced and waste treated. So preparing extension programs, popularizing social and educational campaigns, provide training, and establish scientific training or courses. And all of this as a result of this project, and it is planned for up to 2030 year. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much for this nice presentation and a lot of huge progress in the phosphorus in Czech Republic, I think. Thank you very much. Good timing management, thank you. And now I would like to invite our next project partner, Tomasz Bakalar from the Košice University of Technology, who will present the Slovakia perspective for phosphorus.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tomáš Bakalar. I am from Technical University of Košice, Faculty of Mining, Ecology, Process Control and Geotechnologies. I and my colleagues Zuzana Šimková and Henrieta Pavlova from the same faculty were working on this project, cooperating, and these are the results of our study. I will mostly concentrate on sources of phosphorus. We are the smallest country of the V4 countries, about 5 million inhabitants in Slovakia. Phosphorus is one of the materials that is important. By now, during these 2.5 days spent at this conference, it's been told quite a lot about phosphorus, sewage sludge, contaminants, etc., etc. There is not so much to tell more about it, but there is a perspective of our country, what we gathered, what we found, based on the expert opinions, the statistics, etc., etc., everything we found on phosphorus. As in Slovakia, we have a very low support for phosphorus recovery, phosphorus management, or circular economy as it is. Here are the most important figures for us. Phosphorus import and export. About the table, the first table is about the import, the second one is about the export. So let me start with the export. There are mostly zeros. In 2 years, 2010 and 2013, there are some numbers. We found it in the databases of the Slovak Statistical Office, but without any other information on how this export happened. So Slovakia only depends on the import of phosphorus to the Slovak Republic. The numbers are up, down, depends on the consumption. Yeah, well, this is the point where I could end my presentation, because this is all what is with the phosphorus done in Slovakia, unfortunately. But we made more investigation to find the sources, the possible sources of phosphorus. These are, of course, by now on theoretical level. It could be a start for phosphorus management, for phosphorus recovery in Slovakia. Phosphorus mining, this is not the best start, but we have to say that no phosphorus raw material is mined in Slovakia. As also Marzena mentioned, in Poland, it has no perspective. In Slovakia, there is only one phosphorus deposit of some xenotime. It's rock, which is mixed with uranium, with other minerals, very similar to xenotime-containing phosphate, and the separation of phosphorus-containing mineral would be really, really complicated. And the other thing is uranium itself making everything radioactive. So this is not the way in Slovakia. Surface water and sediments. There is quite a large amount of phosphorus in surface water and sediments. This map is a map of sediments, sediments containing phosphorus in the rivers of Slovakia. The amount is quite high, and the average content is about 900 milligrams per kilogram of sediment, plus, minus. There is some variation. But, of course, the distribution is varied. Another source is wastewater production and treatment. This graph is presenting the amount of phosphorus released into the water courses in Slovakia per year. It seems quite a huge amount, but it contains not only treated water that goes out from wastewater treatment plants, but the untreated water. Unfortunately, in Slovakia, there are still quite a lot of homes not connected to sewage and releasing everything that comes out from the house directly into a water course. The trend is decreasing, which may be caused especially by using more and more phosphate-free detergents. Also mentioned before, sewage sludge ash, sewage sludge and incinerated sewage sludge. Actually, the sewage sludge in Slovakia is recovered, but it is mostly, predominantly, for agricultural purposes. In Slovakia, it's normal to put sewage sludge into the soil or mix it with other ingredients and use it as a soil. Some is stored, some is disposed. The total amount is quite high. Sewage sludge ash in Slovakia is not incinerated at all. 1 year there was a few tons, probably some try, but only during these years we were monitoring only 1 year, a few tons, but otherwise no sewage sludge ash is incinerated. The other source, animal and slaughter waste, especially speaking about cattle. The amount of cattle is a bit lowering. The produced manure and produced urine are a rich source of phosphorus. Another source we found that seemed promising was steel-making slag. In Slovakia, during the monitored period, there were 3 working steel works. By now, these days, there is only 1 working in Košice, US Steel Košice, which is the largest producer of steel and other steel products in Central Europe. There was more than 3 million tons of steel produced in Slovakia in 2020. The produced slag is about 110 to 120 kilos per 1 ton of steel. But from this, the estimated amount of phosphorus oxide is only 0.6 to 1.5%. Now, let me summarize the possible sources. So these are the estimated amount of source, and this is the estimated amount of available phosphorus. These numbers are different. As I mentioned, the steel-making slag seem to be a good source, but it's only the mentioned about 1% that is available, that is quite low. The largest source still remains manure and urine, with about 5 million tons per year, representing some 2 million tons of available phosphorus in Slovakia. Let me conclude. We've made some economic analysis, SWOT analysis, etc., and the results, some were mentioned, some not, but no phosphorus deposit mine mentioned. Low number of potential phosphorus deposits. No phosphorus recovered from available sources. Reduction of cattle breeding and manure and urine production. The amount of cattle is reducing year by year. Lack of governmental support. Our government has many other problems, not phosphorus. Instability in steel production, as I mentioned, we have now only 1 steel-making company. And significant dependence on phosphorus import. There are different countries, also Marzena mentioned, we have mostly European countries. Nowadays it's also changing for non-European countries. I would like to thank Marzena and her team for nice cooperation and all the other partners from Czech Republic and Hungary, and hope in future cooperation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Bakalar, for this presentation. So, in conclude, we face similar problems. They are a little bit different between the countries, but in the end of the day, we do not recover on industrial scale phosphorus, and this is something what we would discuss in the future projects as well. Now, I would like to invite my colleague from my team, Paulina Marcinek, who will present the result of our project, which is the roadmap for the sustainable and circular management of the phosphorus in our Visegrad group countries. Paulina, the floor is yours now.
Raz. So, thank you very much, Marzena. So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paulina Marcinek. I represent Mineral and Energy Economy Research Institute of the Polish Academy of Sciences, and today I would like to show you some important information about our project product, which is roadmap of sustainable phosphorus management. So, first of all, I would like to show you the main goal of our project product, which is to include a set of actions that concern the most efficiency, sustainable and circular management of phosphorus sources, primary and also secondary sources in Visegrad countries. Also, the roadmap provides information on the situation and importance of phosphorus for the survival of people in the Visegrad countries and contain recommendation of algorithms for the future actions. Also, the development of the roadmap shows where to look for sources of phosphorus in a situation of unstable imports. In addition, it presents the possibilities of creating a new job in the development of phosphorus technology and also construction and operation of installation. So our roadmap consists of 8 main chapters. First is introduction of the most important information, the general information about phosphorus. Next, circular and sustainable of phosphorus sources. Third chapter is an overview of the current situation of the raw materials in the Visegrad countries. We have also chapter about phosphorus reuse, phosphorus resource reuse, which include information about material productivity, cumulative resources used in the import and export, saving in primary raw materials due to the use of the secondary raw material. Chapter about sustainable production and consumption, also the waste management containing information about municipal wastewater and sewage sludge and food waste, and two list chapter deal with educational and most important information about framework monitoring. As I said, we have primary and secondary sources of phosphorus. Unfortunately, the global reserve of high-grade phosphate rock are decreased. For this reason, people looking for secondary sources of phosphorus is natural, and observed that phosphorus is also accumulative in the secondary materials. And so the high potential of the recovery of phosphorus from secondary sources have, for example, wastewater and sewage sludge ash, animal manure, and plant waste or biomass. And so, as we know, Europe does not have significant reserves of phosphorus mines. There are phosphorus reserves in several countries within the European Union, including Finland. But however, these reserves are relatively smaller compared to the global reserves. And so, based on the available data, there are no phosphate deposit mined of the Visegrad countries at the present. So, terribly sustainable management of these nutrients is especially important in Visegrad countries. So, and of course, the Visegrad countries should be working to improve raw materials productivity in order to reduce their dependency on imported phosphorus sources, and this can be achieved through several means like life cycle assessment and phosphorus footprinting, research and development, market-based market-based mechanism. And so, regarding export, the Visegrad countries are not major exporters of phosphorus raw materials. They do export some products, for example, fertilizers, but the quantity is limited compared to the amount of phosphorus they import. And so, and of course, the use of secondary raw materials can lead to significant saving in primary raw materials, as well as reducing environmental impact, increasing security of supply, and decreasing dependence on a small number of primary material suppliers. And so the next chapter is dedicated to sustainable production and consumption, and where is the emphasis that the management of phosphorus reuse mean better quantification and all flow of a global, regional, national, and local scale. And our recommended action in this area include efficiency in the use of phosphorus, substitution solutions, regulation and standards, technological solutions, instruction of raw materials, supporting programs, and also sustainable supply chain. And yes, the waste management chapter contains important information about the municipal wastewater, which has the high potential to substitute a significant part of the demand of the phosphorus resources. And yes, in the slide I present food waste by sector of activities. And in the Visegrad countries, the most food is waste in Poland, followed by Hungary and Czech Republic, and the least in the Slovakia. And the action which are proposed are European Union regulation, information campaign, investment in research, technological solutions, and also supporting programs. And regarding the education, is the was on the most important part of the sustainable management of phosphorus, it's important to raise awareness among stakeholders such as farmers, policymakers, and other general public about the importance of sustainable phosphorus management. And on this slide, I present also projects supporting sustainable phosphorus management in our countries, in Visegrad countries. And as we can see, the countries actively participate in the circular management processes. And our proposition, our recommendation action in this area include raising awareness among the stakeholders, preparing extension programs, popularizing social and education campaign, inclusion of this issue in the exchange study programs, establish scientific training and courses, and also provide a lot of training. And the last chapter is a monitoring framework for phosphorus, enable the tracking and evaluation of phosphorus source utilization and management in a specific area. And in this part, we propose indicators to monitor progress, such as level of phosphate raw materials consumption, share of phosphate raw materials from recycling, efficiency level in the use of phosphate raw materials, and also our amount of imported phosphate raw materials. So that's all from me. If you want to find more information about our roadmap, please visit our website where the roadmap is available. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Paulina, for presenting the scope of our roadmap and for people who are involved in the development of the circular economy roadmap in Poland, and me, I have been. Honestly, from 2016 with our Ministry of Development and some working groups on that, we follow the structure more or less, and we also included some elements from the Circular Economy Action Plan proposed by the European Commission in 2020 and also in 2015 with this first plan. So there's a lot to be done in the case of the phosphorus in our countries. And on the next session, you will have nice possibility to hear what young people are doing regarding the research. And there will be mainly technical research on the phosphorus recovery and management. Thank you very much for the participation in this session. And I would like to invite all participants to the lunch. And after lunch, we will join the second session of the FOSS project, and after there will be closing session and some awards for the best examples of the circular economy in our sector. Thank you very much. Szanowni Państwo, rozpoczynamy ostatnią sesję merytoryczną, ale nie ostatnią sesję konferencji. Bardzo zachęcam, żeby zostać jeszcze po tej sesji na sesję podsumowującą, bo będziemy wręczać nagrody za najlepsze prezentacje i najlepsze przykłady dobrych praktyk GOS. A teraz rozpoczynamy drugą sesję związaną z naszą konferencją międzynarodową. And I should change the language, sorry. So this is the second session for the international conference dedicated to the phosphorus raw materials in the Visegrad countries. And now I would like to give the speak to Dr. Anna Podlasek from Warsaw University of Life Sciences, who will be moderating this session.
Thank you very much, Professor Marzena. I'm Anna Podlasek from Warsaw University of Life Sciences. It's my pleasure to have this opportunity to moderate this second session of this FOSV4 project. In this session, we have 3 presentations, and I would like to invite the first presenter, who is Mr. Maciej Sabal from AGH University of Krakow, who will present the topic Circular Economy Model in the Agricultural Sector in the European Union, Barriers and Challenges. So, please.
Thank you. Okay. Good morning. My name is Maciej Sabal. I work in AGH University in non-ferrous metals department, and increasing importance of sustainability and circular economy-related legislation, including in the agricultural sector, prompted me to undertake research into the biggest challenges and issues involved circular agriculture. And I suppose that everybody knows about circular economy, so I should talk about it, that circular economy is opposed to linear economy, assumes that materials are used in order to put as little impact as possible on the environment and natural resources. And increasing number of countries worldwide, as well as international organizations, including the European Union, are implementing circular economy principles under the assumption that increased resource utilization efficiency through closed-loop material flows will reduce material extraction, waste disposal, and consequently pressure on the environment. Another important principle, often overlooked in the discussion, is the pursuit of growth model that doesn't depend on the consumption of resources. This is the biggest challenge. And although agriculture accounts for about 10% of anthropogenic emissions, but it is an important area that is a challenge for governments in many countries. It seems likely to be one of the key disputes in the circular economy discussion over the coming years. And announced almost 5 years ago, the European Green Deal is one of the topics that ignites discussion about the future of the European community and the model of economic development. But at the same time, it is a topic that gives rise to many misunderstandings and even half-truth and myths. And for the past few months, we have been able to see farmers across whole Europe protesting and questioning the main point of European Green Deal. And at the same time, the target of the protest is the farm-to-fork strategy. It's a special strategy connected with agriculture in European Union. And the farm-to-fork strategy aims to accelerate our transition to a sustainable food system that should have a neutral or opposite or a positive environment impact, help to mitigate climate changes and adapt to its impacts, reverse the loss of biodiversity, and this system should ensure food security, nutrition, and public health, making sure that everyone has access to sufficient, safe, and sustainable food. And already 1 year ago, on the March of 2023, there were many indications that agricultural issues would move into top league of Europe burning issues. And therefore, a qualitative survey was carried out among 19 farmers from Poland, and they were from both of the crop and livestock sectors on the key areas of circular agriculture. And important aspects of the survey was the issue of fertilizer use. And according to my knowledge, there was one of the first of such a survey. And all respondents declared the use of organic fertilizers, and my interviewers want to replace synthetic fertilizers to a greater extent with organic fertilizers, but they said that it's very hard to find it. And I have a citation. Overall, there is a significant problem with the availability of organic fertilizers because those who possess them don't sell them. They are used for their own needs, primarily for manure. We don't have large farms where anything can be bought. So in our case, we do something like growing rapeseed, peas, and using legume cover crops. That's how we supplement. And my respondents highlighted the so-called nitrate directive, which hinders the use of organic fertilizers on a larger scale in European Union, obviously. And I have next citation that synthetic fertilizers can largely be replaced, but there is a limitation on using manure. I could see more manure in Western countries. You can use 240 kilos of nitrogen, but here we can only use 170 kilos, which is completely insufficient. I have to exchange manure for straw. It's the law, which is absurd, said one of my interviewers. So the few farmers said about it, and they mean about European Union Council directive. According it, the maximum dose was set at 170 kilos of nitrogen in poor form in 1 hectare of agricultural land yearly. And the European Commission made an exception to this directive in 2007 and for Ireland to permit the use of natural fertilizer in a maximum amount of 250 kilos of nitrogen per hectare annually. So my interviewers was true, to be honest, but I want to say that it's fair to say that farmers don't fully understand the policies of the European Union, which seem inconsistent for them. So, and we can see that decline of fertilizer use in Europe in the past 2 decades, between 1999 and 2019, it declines in Italy in 40%, in Netherlands about 40%, and Germany about 30%. But in Poland, to be honest, there has been a 60% increase, but it was a low base effect, because between 1999 and 2019, fertilizer consumption in Poland increased from 106 kilo in the hectare to 172 kilos. But consumption at similar level was in the Germany, Czech Republic, and other countries, and consumption at higher levels still occurs in Belgium, the Netherlands, or Great Britain. So, and it's worth mentioning these two contexts, as they've shown that the growth that has taken place in Poland was really just some catching up with other countries from Western Union. And my conclusion is that there are voices of discontent across Europe related to the European Green Deal, but the group protesting most strongly are farmers, and Polish agriculture has recently, as I said, caught up Western Europe, thanks in part to the use of fertilizers. So restrictions for many farmers are incomprehensible. So policy on agricultural changes should be communicated clearly and based on consensus. So this research brought up many interesting themes that would be worth developing, and me and my colleagues from my department currently carrying out quantitative research with the team in order to map the most important challenges in Polish agriculture and fertilizers too. And it turns out the problem is very topical now, that the issue of fertilizer use is one of the key to understanding it. And European Green Deal is more closely linked to support for the use by farmers and environmentally friendly practices necessary for food quality. But food quality is important according to the survey to 95% of the Poles. The environmental impact of food is also increasingly important to consumers, with the 60% of the public saying that would be prepared to choose environmentally friendly products, even if they were more expensive. And Polish agriculture use fertilizer, but in similar scale comparing to Western Europe. And in future, is no plan to decline it, and it is important to explain farm needs. The problem is how to translate the language of benefits so as to reach farmers. And it seems that the interests of farmers, consumers, and European Union are not in conflict. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your nice presentation. Now I would like to invite the second presenter, who is Mr. Mateusz Skalny from AGH University of Krakow. The title of the presentation is Phosphate Bonding by Calcium Carbonate Iron Oxide Magnetic Particles in Wastewater Matrix. So the floor is yours.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Mateusz. I'm second year PhD student at the university, at the HH University of Krakow. And from a very nice political topic, we will jump into the chemistry, but I think that's fine. So we want to share with you our latest study, which is connected to the recovery of, to the applying of waste materials for the recovery of phosphorus. So basically here, by developing new materials, by materials engineering, we are looking for the symbiosis between different industries. In our case, we are working with steel-making dusts from the steel-making industry, and we would like to apply them, because they are waste materials, for the phosphorus recovery, and we found pretty good method how to do it. But so the scarcity of the raw materials, the scarcity of the phosphorus is a great problem for the European Union, for us in Poland. So, and we are gathering here to tackle this problem. And the solution for this problem is the phosphorus recycling. And most of us here are working on it. And I would like to show how the material engineering can help with this type of problems. So, basically, in our study, we are using electric arc furnace dusts, which are waste materials with right now no available processes to recycle, so they are mostly landfilled. And these materials are composed of zinc and iron, different zinc and different iron oxides. So this is pretty interesting chemical composition, and those materials under very nice microscopes looks like this. They form those tiny nanometric spheres, and annually, like between 5 to 10 million tons in the world are produced. So pretty huge amount. And like I mentioned, they are mostly landfilled, so it's very beneficial to find a new method how to apply them. And we propose a method how we can apply those materials for the recovery of phosphorus from the wastewaters. So, but in order to do that, we have to develop a processing methodology for these materials. So first of all, we conduct a magnetic separation, which separates the zinc-rich fraction from iron-rich fraction. And by doing this, we obtain very nice chemical composition of this iron-rich fraction. So mainly iron oxides, a little bit of calcium, silica, and a little bit of zinc. But this is not the end. To increase reactivity of these materials towards phosphorus, we will apply the specific protocol, functionalization protocol that we developed. So basically, we apply the method which is called dissolution recrystallization method, which is pretty simple. So basically, we treat our material with very low concentrated hydrochloric acid to dissolve the material particles, but only on the surface. Then we apply a base, which is calcium hydroxide, to precipitate the coating, the very reactive coating here around those particles. And applying this protocol results in the increase in specific surface area of these materials, and also increase the phosphate adsorption capacity, which is our goal here. But it's very important to keep in mind that the magnetic properties of those materials are retained, because we are keeping the heart of the particle the same, and this is very important because it enables this material to be separated from the solution very easily by applying magnetic field. So here you can see the preliminary results of our experiments. So basically, these dark bars are related to the raw EAFD materials, and this yellow light one are related to the materials after the applying of our protocol. And we can see that the efficiency of the removal of the phosphorus is drastically elevated, and this is due to the increase in specific surface area mostly. Yes, but the other case is that in lower phosphorus concentration, we observe the increase in adsorption capacity, so we remove most of the phosphorus from the solution. But when the concentration of phosphorus in our wastewater increase, we see a little bit different character of the reaction, because it's very important to analyze also the matrix, the matrix of the solution of the phosphorus, and we can see that it's not dependent on the material that we used, but on the matrix. So from the ionized water, so the experiments from the ionized water showed much lower efficiency than the results from the wastewater. And we can further use very nice electron transmission microscopy for analyzing our materials, and we found that in the matrix of the ionized water, phosphorus accumulates in the regions rich in calcium. And you can see it there and there. But we haven't seen the crystallization of calcium phosphate. But when we apply when we use our materials in a wastewater matrix, so much more complex matrix than the ionized water, of course, we saw this precipitation of calcium phosphate particles, which is very important, because when the calcium phosphate precipitates on the surface of our materials, it's very important in terms of the efficiency. So we can recover much more phosphorus from the wastewater, having those precipitated on a surface that the only adsorption occurs. So this is a very good sign. So yes, we observed the crystallization of calcium phosphate, and this is due to the presence of additional Ca2+ anions in a wastewater matrix. So this is the main conclusion of our study. But we also asked ourselves the questions, what's next? Then we have to redraw the phosphorus from our material, because we want to apply our materials several times, not only once. So we tested different regeneration methods. And the calcium carbonate seems to be the most effective agent for the removal of phosphorus from the surface of our material, and by this we are creating the phosphorus concentrate, which can be further used on the industrial purposes, because in comparison to the wastewater, the phosphorus content is much higher in such matrix. And we can see that the materials that we developed can be used for several cycles, here up to 4 or even more, I think. Summing up the whole conclusions from this study, when we use those materials for the recovery of phosphorus from the wastewater, 2 processes occur. First of all, the adsorption on this reactive coating of the adsorption of the phosphates, and also the crystallization of CAP also occurs, but only in the presence of additional Ca2+ cations. And we can recover the phosphorus from the surface of our materials by using calcium carbonate pretty effectively to create P-rich concentrate, which can be further used for different purposes. And so these type of reactions occur on the surface of our materials. So basically, calcium carbonate from this reactive coating is anion exchanged or precipitated into the form of calcium phosphate, which is calcium phosphate. And in the regeneration step, when we create this P-rich concentrate, we back again are creating calcium carbonate on the surface of our materials here, and this enables us to use these materials several times. So the main conclusions of our study is that we obtained a value-added material from the waste material. The developed materials show very good adsorption phosphate capacity, and we have to keep in mind that these magnetic particles are very easy to recover from the solution, because they have those magnetic properties. And due to those magnetic properties, we can go even further, and we can apply them not only for the wastewater matrix or generally water matrix, but also, for example, for contaminated soil or sludge. So we will be able to withdraw by these particles from phosphorus, for example, from most dense matrices than only wastewater. And for further plans, we would like to study the long-term cycle performance of these particles, and so how they really are working, for example, 15 times to use. So, yeah, this is our team. Please note that page. You can find us here, find our research, our laboratories, and basically everything. And we are a group of experts regarding the adsorption science, wastewater treatment, material science, and many more. And I think that's all.
Thank you very much for your insightful presentation dedicated to phosphorus recovery. And now I would like to invite Mr. Gavel Sołowski from Bingöl University in Turkey. The presentation title is Biofuels from Algae and Microorganisms.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for giving me the floor. Today, I will talk about microalgae and microorganism biofuels. Why IMF? Because we have mostly of fossil fuels are burned. In 4 years, there will be no oil beside Middle Asia. In 50 years, there will be no oil at all. In 100 years, no gas. So we are going to lose our traditional, let's say, fueling resource, and we have the trouble of plastics. And therefore, here I proposed and use some idea. So, this what I propose is the life cycle. So one way is from organic waste to fossil fuels, which is plastics, which is traditional way, and then, if innovative way, of course, we can use with microbial potential feed. Of course, we have the carbon dioxide for fossil fuels, which will be used by these sources. And we have here by microbial potential feed how can be made. We have biocenosis, so we have divided to applied plant, applied fungi, and applied for animal. This is a source of fats, proteins, and sugars. Of course, there is also lignocellulose, which is almost safe, and this is the source of our new materials. So how it changed in 5 years' time, especially in hydrogen. So here we have the 5 most popular, hydrogen and biofuel: dark fermentation, biophotolysis, photofermentation, microbial electrolysis cell, and anaerobic digestion. This is because we have dark fermentation is type of anaerobic digestion when we stop our process on acidogenesis, and we have forming hydrogen. How it changed during 5 years? In 2018, we have composed starting of science mixture beside hydrolysis. Then, now we have trials of industrial application. In case of sugar, we was based off the modeling substrate. Now the sugar allows us to utilize hazardous material as asbestos, as well as can be genetic bacteria are now break the limitation. In case of fats, we have the trials of checking pathways just. Now is a very important mixture, especially after the rest of algas. In case of protein, there were very little theoretic potential, but there now is change due to some successful offers. And now we have other techniques, were mostly batch. Now as some preparing for as upgrading facility for anaerobic digestion. In case biophotolysis, which is splitting of water by means of algas, firstly in case of compost were mostly as pharmacy and hydrogen generation. Now there are substrates which are going to be the source of proteins, and due to splitting of water can be also some hydrogen, but mostly as the feed for other techniques, especially similar to sugar, now are more related to pharmacy. There is also proteins from algas are coming to pharmacy and biofuels and biopolymer source, and additional hydrogen production and pharmacy and green source. In case of photofermentation, it's the special size of fermentation, which is under the influence of solar light. And in this 6 years, is mostly was in low interest, mostly some combination with dark fermentation. Now we know that substrate variety is much more higher, so we have also some sugar, some more composed mixture. Therefore, is mostly used, and is additional technique both for dark fermentation, biophotolysis, as well as anaerobic digestion. The next type is microbial electrolysis cell, which is the splitting of bacteria of the compost, because when they feed, they generate some potential. Now, there were some combination with dark fermentation, but was low interest because they require additional charging when was going to water. But now, we have also extend to sugars, and it's very promising as due to the fact that ammonia decomposition doesn't require so much potential. Therefore, we can use this as source of hydrogen as reverse to Haber process, and this will form. In case of anaerobic digestion, we have biorefining and down improved with complex. Insecure proteins is also wider use, and is mostly changed from anaerobic digestion modeling into the artificial neural networks. What is dark fermentation, as Paul told? Here we have the difference. So on acidogen it stops hydrogen, while anaerobic digestion comes to battery production. In case of algas, we have some. Can be also source of gelatin, which is much lower sulfur, and this is going to dark fermentation, and finally, if not stop, we have metagenesis, every anaerobic digestion. In the case of this research, we see that because of adding this added sulfur with gelatin is much higher hydrogen sulfide that started, it is recovered. It shows that this is due to decomposition of microorganisms, and by digesting them, hydrogen sulfide is proposed, and this hydrogen sulfide is the parallel process to dark fermentation. So conclusion, we see that in case of dark fermentation is 5 to 6, and we see that if the substrate is less composed, is giving much more hydrogen, but also, and giving the treatment and raw to hydrogen is more expensive, but also generates much more side products that can replace our other products as biopolymers, as lubricants. So this is the all. And these are references. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you very much for your interesting presentation. It was the final presentation in this session, so I would like to again congratulate to all of presenters. And now I have the pleasure to give the floor to Professor Marzena Small, who will be the leader of the closing session. So, please.
Thank you, Dr. Anna Podlasek, for moderating this session excellently. And now I would like to firstly close all sessions dedicated to the phosphorus, this part on the phosphorus management conference. And I would like to thank to all partners that have been involved in this our small journey during last almost 3 years. Thank you very much. And now I would like to directly switch to the last session, because we will not do a break to keep you here alive, I hope. And we will have the closing session, which will be started by the invited speaker presentation, who unfortunately couldn't join our conference, and Professor Konstantinos Tsagarkis from Technical University of Crete will give a speech about the water recycling by video.
Good afternoon, my name is Konstantinos Tsagarkis. I'm a professor at the Technical University of Crete in Greece, and the title of my presentation is the Circular Economy Milestone on Water Recycling, Reclamation and Reuse Literature. How far circular economy goes back? Circular economy is a concept we used to see in conferences like this one several decades back. The concept of marginal waters, for example wastewater, being regarded as a resource goes at least 30 years back, as far as I remember, while relevant strategies, even at that time, were water recycling, water reclamation, and water reuse. The first conference I attended just after I finished my engineering studies was the second International Symposium on Waste, Water Reclamation and Reuse. This was held in Heraklion, Greece in 1995. From the selected papers that were presented in this symposium, a special issue in water science and technology was published, and you can see on the right the keywords of this special issue, or better, an abstract of the keywords of the special issue, and you can see that reclaim wastewater, reclamation, recycling, and reuse were, even at the time, strategies that were very much discussed in the literature. A few years later, I was involved in the organization of the regional symposium on water recycling in the Mediterranean region, and you can see that we have started already saying water instead of wastewater. And if you open this book of proceedings, you can see that there are most of the papers are discussing water recycling, water reclamation, and water reuse issues. So what we want to see from the published literature, we want to see how much circular economy is within water recycling, reclamation and reuse, how much we are reviewing the knowledge on water recycling, reclamation and reuse, in other words, how many review papers we publish, and finally what disciplines are looking into water recycling, reclamation and reuse. To do so, I ran a Scopus research, and the first search was for circular economy, water and any of the recycling, reclamation and reuse, which was limited to articles as a document type. The second search was circular economy, water and any of the recycling, reclamation and reuse, but this was limited to review documents. The third search was for water and any of recycling, reclamation and reuse, but I excluded circular economy, and then I limited to articles. And I also limited to the last 30 full years from 1994 to 2023. And the fourth search I did was on water and any of the recycling, reclamation and reuse. And then I also excluded circular economy, and I limited to reviews as documents, and then I limited to the last 30 years from 1994 to 2023. In this graph, we can see that the first paper published on circular economy and water recycling or water reclamation or water reuse was in 2005, and from then the number started to increase, and this increase was very high to the very recent years, but also the number of review papers started to increase. Regarding the documents for the search related to water recycling or water reclamation or water reuse, this was, as I said, limited to the last 30 years, and you can see also a very high increasing trend, and also an increase in the number of the review papers, but compared to the previous graph, it's very much less. To compare these two graphs, I have come to the construction of this slide, which on the left you can see the water recycling, reclamation and reuse articles included those related to circular economy, and on the right you can see the water recycling, reclamation and reuse articles excluding the circular economy documents. So you can see on the left panel that proportionally the number of reviews of review papers to those papers related to circular economy is much higher compared to those articles that are dealing with water recycling, reclamation and reuse, but circular economy is excluded. Let's now quantify and test these searches. For the water and circular economy documents that have also any of the reuse, recycling and reclamation, the search resulted in 1,117 articles and 257 review papers. For the water reuse, water recycling and water reclamation, where circular economy was excluded, you can see on the bottom of this figure, this resulted in 60,314 documents and 4,651 review documents. Statistical tests shows that the portion is much different when the circular economy is included, and is specific. This portion is 3 times higher when the circular economy keyword is included. Here you can see the same figures, but only for the last 5 years. So we completely take away any differences in the years, in the number of years of the searches. So you can see that when water and circular economy with any of the reuse, recycling and reclamation are used as search terms, this results to 1,019 research articles and to 237 review articles. This portion is 2.4 times higher than when circular economy is excluded from the same search, which results to 25,470 documents, which are research articles, and 2,483 documents, which are review papers. Here also, again, there is a statistical significant difference. So what we see here is that by far, when circular economy is included as a keyword, and then the portion of review articles is very high. In this slide, we can see what is the situation with the subject areas. On the left, you can see the searches that exclude circular economy, and on the right, you can see the subject areas when circular economy is included. What we can see is that the social sciences and the business management and accounting sciences, also the economic econometrics and finance journals are much more represented when circular economy is included as a search term, which gives a message that the circular economy is a broader research topic which bridges the gap between technical and non-technical disciplines. Here we can see in this table which are the countries with the more review documents on circular economy. First is India, then it is Italy, Spain, China, United Kingdom, Australia, United States, etc. And we can see also how many research articles are published from the same countries. It's interesting to see that in some of the countries the ratio of review of articles published from authors coming from this country is quite high. For example, there are countries with more than 50% review papers over research articles, and there is, for example, in United Arab Emirates, it's more than 200, which means that there are more review papers than research papers on circular economy. And in this slide, you can see more or less what we saw in the previous table, but more countries, and you can see also that Europe, which is the continent that circular economy was initiated through Green Deal and the climate change policies, has less review articles over research documents. On the other hand, countries like Mexico, Australia, some African countries, and India, this ratio of review articles over research articles is quite high. So, what we can see, what conclusions we can reach with these findings. One is that circular economy in the water sector dates back a few decades back, and there is variable research works on wastewater reclamation, recycling, and reuse. Sometimes we miss this information because we search only for circular economy terms, but we don't need to discover the wheel, and we need always to look back to papers published before circular economy terminology was established. Another finding is that circular economy is a broader multidisciplinary topic which bridges the gap of technical and non-technical disciplines, and especially the social, the economic, and the managerial disciplines with engineering ones. Finally, we can see that circular economy is still seeking insights driven by research, but also by disproportionately higher review works, which is an indication that people want to publish more review papers and do more literature reviews, and also that the editors of journals are more interested in insights gained from extensive literature reviews. And before I close, I would like to remind you that this year we ran the first version of the Symposium on Circular Economy and Sustainability in Chania, in Greece. And thank you for your attention. If there are any questions, keen, don't hesitate to email me.
Thank you for Professor. I will send him thank you from our audience for this presentation. And now I would like to come back to the session dedicated to the circular economy and our conference, international conference, Water and Sewage in the Circular Economy Model. This is the closing session of the conference. The project is almost over. We have still around 6 days to finalize all our activities. And for everyone who is involved in so-called Norway grants, I think you know how challenging it is. Yes, so the next slide. I would like to thank for all participants who have been participating in this 3 days conference during all those sessions. I know that it was not very easy to join all sessions, and for some of you it was some another activities have been very important as well. However, these 3 days, honestly, when we were developing the program, it was very hard to set the titles of the individual sessions because all were about the water in the circular economy model, because it was the main idea of our conference. So we had 3 days, and today we will finalize the conference, and also during this session we would like to give the awards for the best circular economy examples in Poland and also for the best presentations in the end of the session. And as you already participate, we had also the additional event that was the conference dedicated to the phosphorus raw materials. And this year we also invited some other experts than our project participants, and that was the reason that we have organized this second session. And from the program, I think you already recognize that we have moved some people from today, and they have presenting the presentations on phosphorus previously. However, I hope that you enjoyed the sessions dedicated to the phosphorus, and I think that most of you are interested in the phosphorus management, so we can also stay in contact with our project partners, and you will have after the session also possibility to go to the coffee break and still to have some network and collaboration. Okay, so regarding the closing of the conference, we will have the award for the best oral presentation during the conference. This is the first competition that we have organized, and this is dedicated only for the young researchers. So sorry for the experienced professors, because I know that you are also, you had also the excellent presentations during those 3 days. However, we would like to motivate the young people to work in the science, and that was the approach in our awards and competition. And also another one is dedicated to the companies that are operating in the water and wastewater sector. The presenting authors will have the certificate, of course, and it will be sent via email or dedicated platform, because my team already informed me that they have developed something completely new, and the certificates will be sent to the presenters, don't worry. And this technical issue, which you can see there, and all equipment, is because the whole conference is recorded, and it will be available in the YouTube channel, yes, of our division. So it will be also available for free for our people who couldn't join the conference. It will be available for free. And this is something what scientists ask each time when they are joining the conference, if there is a possibility to publish any paper there. So yes, we have few special issues that have been proposed by the scientific committee. So first one, this is the conference proceedings that you already have the access with the book of abstract. where you can check all presentations from this water sea management project conference. The second one is something what happened last year, the Salination and Water Treatment Journal, that we are collaborating for many years, and we are making the special issue. Each conference that we are organizing now was transferred to the Elsevier, so it's also very interesting for the people, I hope. It still has 100 points for the Polish people from our ministerial list, and we have a special issue with the members of the scientific committee dedicated to the water and Green Deal. So it's open to submission already for the review and scientific papers. The next one, this is the water policy. That's the journal supported by the International Water Association, which is also the patronage of this conference. And there is also a special issue with the members of the scientific committee dedicated to this conference and other conferences, which, for example, Konstantinos already mentioned, Circular Economy Symposium in Greece this year. There are also two MDPI journals that supports our conference, Sustainability and Water, where we also organize the special issues. Previously, they were not connected in the conference, and the deadline is quite quick because in June we will close the special issues. So if you would like to publish the papers there, also you are very, very invited. What I have to mention, because it's obligatory from the perspective of the organizer, that our conference is organized by the Division of Biogenic Raw Materials from the Mineral and Energy Economy Research Institute of the Polish Academy of Sciences in Krakow. And we have the co-organizer, Kraków Water Utility, who is a host of this event this year. And in 2 years, I suppose that we will continue the collaboration, because this is also something what I didn't mention, but this is the second edition of the conference, but supported by different projects. We have also partners in our conference. The Kraków City gave us the partnership, and also the European Sustainable Phosphorus Platform is partner in our conference. We have also the project partners, COVI Aqua Team from Norway, Optimus Foundation from Poland, and Greenback, Polish company from Poland, of course. Honorary patronage, the Polish Academy of Sciences, Chamber of Commerce, Polish Waterworks, National Fund for Environmental Protection and Water Management as an operator of the Norway grants, and the Minister of Science in Poland. The patronage has been given also by the International Water Association, Polish chapter, and Professor Monkinia, who is the president of the Polish chapter, gave the speech in the first day of the conference. And we have also the media patronage by Kraków City. A lot of informations have been published in the social media and web pages, Forum Exploatatora and Journal of the Polish Waterworks. That's the most important organizations that support our conference this year. So thank you very much for everyone who has been involved in this process of the submitting the applications for the support. Scientific committee, everyone who is included here, I'm very thankful for your help, especially during the review of the abstracts. There was a lot of abstracts during this conference. We have a scientific committee which is representing mainly the water and sewage sector in Poland, divided into different areas, water, energy, raw materials, and so on. So I'm really, really thankful that you have been participating in our scientific committee, and I hope in the future we will continue this collaboration. Here I would like to thank very, very, very much to my team and team of the Kraków Water Utility. I think that I have to mention here the names of the people, because without my team, this event will never happen, really. So I would like to thank in the first place to Dominika Szołdrowska. You have been in contact, yeah. With Dominika. Dominika supports me very well, and she's very well organized, comparing to me sometimes. So thank you, Dominika, because I know that it was quite stressful during some time, but in the end of the day, everything was great. So thank you very much. And Dominika was managing also the team for the organizing of the conference. That's mean also Paulina Marcinek, Jadwiga Dziedzic, and Magdalena Andrunik. And already you have reached all those girls in the reception. So thank you very much, girls. We had also the co-organizer, of course, and here I would like to thank Bartosz Łuszczak, who is my main contact in the Kraków Water Utility. Bartosz is not here, but he supports us also with some dedicated team from the Kraków Water Utility. Here, Magdalena and Monika. I don't see them now. Maybe Magdalena is here. Yeah? Okay, yeah. So thank you very much, because I know that without you, it will not happen. So for sure, we are very happy for this collaboration, and thank you very much that we can co-organize with you such a great event. And honestly, there are two bodyguard guys who are watching us all the time. We made some joke about it, so thank you very much for you as well. It was very pleasure to work with you. And here I would like to also mention the company that we are collaborating with for many years, Aspecto. Thank you for the support in any technical issues that we have during our events. So for Grzegorz and all team, thank you very, very much. And of course, for translation of our languages, hello girls, thank you for your support for our participants. Yeah. That's our participants from the first day of the conference. Some of you have been on the first day. I know some of you haven't been, couldn't join, unfortunately. However, during these 3 days, we had around 200 people here, so it was quite impressive number of people. We had also the gala dinner in the first day of the conference, and I would like to say thank you for all participants, because honestly, without the participants, there will be no conference, so this is also very important. So thank you, and you are very welcome to participate in any our event. We are quite active in the education and promotion. So there's a lot of different events that are also ongoing and planned for this year. For example, the 5th edition of the Green Deal Conference. Already we had around 5,000 participants in this conference. So this is also challenging, and this year it will be organized in the hybrid system. That means the on-site in Krakow and also online. So you are very welcome also to join. Yeah, so this is all from my side. Thank you very much for all participants. And now I would like to ask to change the presentation for the awarding session. In our project, we have promised 3 competitions. And honestly, the first one, not the easiest one, I have to say, was dedicated to the kids. And they were developing some excellent works regarding the water reuse and circular economy during our workshops that have been organized, as I mentioned, during the first session in the first day of the conference. We reach 3 million people in our activities, like proven participants, so it's really impressive also. So for the kids, we already gave some awards. during our workshop. The second one was dedicated to presentations during this conference. And there was the scientific commission, yeah, because only scientists participate. And we would like to give the 3 places for the 3 best presenters during the conference. Okay, so it's okay. I will skip. The third one is going to Isabella Konkol for the presentation. Okay, is that AGH University of Technology? Polish Academy of Science. Okay, so I would like to invite Isabella for award regarding the third place of the our conference. Okay, so I will give the diploma. However, I would like to invite Professor Eugeniusz Koda from Warsaw University of Life Sciences to give you the award. Ja też gratuluję i zapraszamy do zdjęcia wspólnego. Okay, what happened here? It's alive, okay. Now I would like to invite Klaudia Stankiewicz. Okay, Klaudia is not here with us, so we will send the award to her. And the first place, honestly, it's not a very easy name. Hail El Jesus Girma. Are you with us? Yes, Ghent University, Belgium. Yeah, so huge congratulations for the best presentation of the young researchers during our conference.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, so now please close your eyes because I have to come back to the our companies because this year we also created the competition for the companies. Our intention was to underline that in Poland there's a lot of different institutions and companies that are working on the circular economy implementation, and they are very, very active in our sector, and they are already implemented some solutions dedicated to the recovery of phosphorus, water recovery and water reuse. And this is something what should be underlined. And here I would like to announce that the first company that we wanted to provide the distinction is the company Crevox, European Ecological Center, for the project, the Blue Bridge project, water recovery system from municipal sewage, consisting of a recovery installation with accompanying infrastructure and transmission pipeline. So I would like to invite the representative of the company to take the award. Okay, so there is no now, okay. So we have also the 3 places, and the third one is going to the Aquanet, which is a very active company regarding the implementation of the circular economy, for the project management of the rainwater and snow melt. I would like to invite the representative of the company for the award. Thank you very much. And now the second floor, Ecologic, for the synstop product, reducing the level of the nutrients in water while combining cyanobacteria and their plumes. I would like to invite the representative of the company for the award. Thank you very much. And now the best example that has been proven in our competition is going to the Waterworks and Sewage company Jarocin for the project modernization of sludge management at the wastewater treatment plant in Chelcha. And Chelcha is very well recognized for the phosphorus management, which is in the line with the circular economy. And my huge congratulations, we already know this solution before the application came to our competition. So representatives of the Chelcha company. Thank you very much for the participation in our competition. Thank you very much, Professor Koda, for collaboration regarding this aspect. And now what can I say more? Thank you very much for all participants and see you on the next hour event. Thank you.